Hey everybody, it's Robert C. Stern with The Social Leader. How are we all doing today? And if you are watching on the replay, don't forget, type in the comments so we know you were here. Put the hashtag replay. So we have another Spotlight 20. Like I said on our last one, I was just in this great boot camp and I met such amazing people. I wanted to bring them all on for their 20-minute talk, showing what they do. Extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. So today's guest, I have Lisa McGrath. Lisa McGrath is an international best-selling author, speaker, national board certified teacher, course creator, and writing teacher and editor. Boy, she's been doing a lot. She helps clients get published. As an intuitive personal coach, she offers inspirational, practical, and spiritual guidance. She teaches busy men and women to find that clarity, purpose, and direction with the intentional acts that help them achieve their goals and live their intentional life. With her online coaching program, Achieve Your Goals Unlimited Laser Coaching Program. So without further ado, here's Lisa.
Hello, Robert. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Now that's how you do an entrance, right?
Yeah.
I like to be enthusiastic when I read those profile things.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I'm busy. I'm having a blast.
Man, you have a lot in there.
I'm having a blast. I'm very fortunate, very blessed. I count my blessings every day. Gratitude is one of my favorite practices.
That is fantastic. So Lisa, like I said, we met in boot camp just a few weeks ago. I love what you do, checking out your stuff with the books and everything else. Tell everybody what you do and what you're about.
Well, I'm America's achievement coach. When there's something that needs to get done, if it's personal or your professional goals, I'm your girl. I'm going to help you get that done. And it's because of accountability, really. And a lot of times that's what we need to check in. And that's what boot camp was about, right? Is finding what those actionable steps are and then making sure you're taking them and checking in and having that accountability. So what I do is I've been publishing my anthology, Pages with Purpose. And that really helps entrepreneurs, coaches, and aspiring authors to really capture their why, their personal story of why. And then they go through my course. It's a writing, publishing, marketing course. And it helps them not only capture their personal story, but shows them how to use it for professional purposes. So now they're using their story to, as a chapter in the anthology, to gain visibility, authority, and credibility. And of course, it's to gain more clients, to get out to their audience. And then a lot of times after they've seen that, hey, I can write this chapter, I can use my personal story for social media to gain attention, right? You want those clients to see you. But also I might write a blog or a guest blog. I might create another article for a magazine or a full-length manuscript. And when they decide that, hey, I can write after all, come and see me and I'm their book coach. I help them write that manuscript. So Robert, when you're ready to write your book, you come see me.
Of course. So how long have you been doing this now? Because I mean, well, let me backtrack. You've wrote some books, and obviously international bestseller. Are your books more about writing, or are they more inspirational? But you also have a teaching background. So what are your books about?
Okay, so I'm going to rewind a little bit further, if it's okay.
Perfect.
So I started out in high school. I wanted to be an author. And I told my favorite English teacher, when I grow up, I want to be an author. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to go back a little bit further. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. And I found myself homeless at 14 years old. And when everyone said I would not amount to anything and I couldn't achieve anything, I wanted to prove them wrong. And that's how I became an achievement coach. Because don't tell me I can't do something. Don't tell me I'm worthless and that I have no value. And when I told my favorite high school teacher that I wanted to be an author, he said, Lisa, you have lofty dreams. You're a woman. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to have children and raise a family. That's your job. Well, that was the time. And so I did. I did what I was told, right? Because I was told that I wouldn't amount to anything and that I wasn't good enough. So I ended up trying to prove people wrong and to be an achievement coach. And one of the things, I'm going to find my pencil because I love this video, this analogy. This eraser right here, I decided when I was a little girl, 14 years old, that this eraser could actually erase the apostrophe T in can't. And then if I could do that for me, I needed to share that story with others.
I love that.
So then what happened is I wasn't an author because remember in my head, I thought, oh, I'm not good enough. So I went to first of all, I graduated high school, which was a surprise to all these people that said I wouldn't amount to anything. And then of course, college. And I became a teacher. And I was a teacher at a college. And one day they said, we need someone to go to the federal prison to teach out there. And I was in the middle of a separation. And it was a very costly divorce. And just, again, lots of dysfunction. So I said yes, because I was in the need of money. And so I go out to the college in this federal prison. I'm teaching writing to all of these men that are going off to get they want their college degrees. And when I was saying bye to one of the guys, and he put his finger in my face and said, you need to put your money where your mouth is. He said, if I had a teacher like you when I was in high school, I wouldn't have ended up in a place like this. And 4 or 5 other guys echoed what he was saying. And because all semester and all these years, I was telling them, you guys, when you get out of here, you have an opportunity, you have to start again. And I would give them, again, an achievement coach, give you a plan, give you some action steps, and have you finish. And so I decided to take that, and I called the local high school, and it was a bad high school, lots of trouble in the high school. And I said, I want to take a sabbatical from the college and come volunteer. Now, again, I was a little naive. I didn't realize people didn't volunteer to go into our school systems and share their expertise. But I said, I want to volunteer for 1 semester. And again, I was naive. I didn't really even realize how long that was going to be. And every day I hated it. I cried. I didn't think I was helping anyone out. And it was probably at least a month, 2 months later, after that semester, that the phone rang and my secretary said I had a call. And I said, oh, I'm going to be late. I got to get to the prison. I got a class tonight. So I took the phone call, and I really didn't pay attention. It was Dad. He was calling me and saying that he was actually thanking me that I had helped his son at that school. And I wasn't listening, Robert. I said, yeah. Because I was more thinking, I got to get to work. I don't want to be late. Don't want to be late. And I hung up. And when I ran off and I get to the prison, and I'm apologizing to my class, these federal prison inmates, and I'm saying, I'm sorry, I thought I was going to be late because I just can't get away from that experience. And I start telling the story of that man calling, making me late almost. And I realized that was the thank you, that I had made a difference. So after that class, I called up that principal and said, if you ever have a real job, a paying job, let me know. And do you know, he called me and asked me if I was serious. And ever since then, I went back and I taught at a high school. And I started teaching writing. And I started teaching journalism and helping people craft their message. Well, after over 25 years of doing this, and my kids grew up, have families of their own now, it was like, what about my dreams? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be an author. So I took that dream off the shelf. I dusted it off. And I started writing. And not only that, publishing. And then it was like, wow, I was achieving my dreams. Again, I'm going to achieve because that's what I expect. And so then I started helping entrepreneurs and crafting their stories of why they started their business. Robert, why are you in social media? There's a story there. Mm-hmm. And so then they started to write their chapters for my anthology, Pages with Purpose. And so now they're able to not only write their personal story, but now they're featured authors. Featured authors gain visibility, credibility, and authority. So a couple of things that have happened. Some of the authors that I've helped have gone on to do TED Talks. So they took the story they had started crafting for the book and they made it into a keynote speech. Others, a very young, well, everybody's young when I compare them to me, but a young woman who's just starting to be an entrepreneur. She has a goal, a mission, and she's just on the cusp of starting her business. Just recently, it was Library Week. She was invited back to her college because they found out she was an international best-selling author in Pages with Purpose. And so they invite her back to speak. She's going to speak in the middle of discussing how much time she'll have and all of these things. She gets another speaking engagement. And then they're like, well, wait a minute. So you want to start a business catering? What kind of food do you make? What? Oh, we have a event coming up at the college here. Would you be available? Could you actually cater this event? Now she got a paid gig out of it as well. Again, we have a voice. We definitely have a story, but some people don't think they have a voice, and we do have a voice. And when we're ahead on our path, we can look back and help someone else and pull them forward on their path. And that's what it's all about. It's illuminating, putting a spotlight, as you're doing, put a spotlight, and then show other people that it can be done. If you can think it, feel it, you can do it.
You remind me of Hilary Swank in the movie, The Freedom Writers.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That I've had that before.
For those of you that didn't see it, it's a must-see movie because it's a true story, actually. This teacher who goes above and beyond in the worst school in the world and made a difference.
Makes a difference. And that's the thing, Robert. We all can make a difference. We all have this genius within us. It's finding.
Well, let me ask, because a lot of people that are going to watch this, let's say they're real estate agents or they're mortgage brokers or they're a fitness person or something, a business coach, whatever. Why is a book so important?
Why is a book? Because it's going to show that intellectual knowledge that they have. They're able to write that down and show the connections on why, like you and I need a coach, why it's important for us to hire a financial planner, why it's important for us to want to know their story, because we have more in common than what separates us. And by sharing our stories, that's how we make connections with people. So sharing those stories. So that's real important. Another thing that I just started because of COVID, I never thought I would know anyone in my personal circle that passed from COVID, and I have had 3 people. But the one person that touched my life in such a way is my friend Elizabeth. She died at 35 years old after recovering from COVID. She left her husband and a 3-year-old daughter. And her husband made a post on social network and said, if you knew my wife, please share your memories and stories so I can share them with my daughter so she'll know her mother. So I created a legacy book project on Pages with Purpose. And that legacy project is for individuals that want to leave a legacy. They want to share their stories and their recipes or even their secrets. And so that they can hand those stories down in book form. And so I've got a major thing going on over at Pages with Purpose. And so I thank you for, allowing me to share that because, again, we all have stories. It's a matter of finding our voice. And as a book coach, as an achievement coach, that's what I do is I help you find your story.
So let me ask you a question, because you're a published author, you're international bestseller. You've helped many people write books. And there's the old saying that many people say that if you write a book, it gives you that credibility, it gives you that authority with your business and everything else. But in reality, writing a book, because of technology now and Amazon and all this stuff that's out there, has become pretty much easier.
Oh, absolutely.
Has it affected the credibility and authority because pretty much anybody can put whatever they want out as a book?
It depends what's between the covers. It depends what's between the covers. So I'm sure you've done the same thing. I've downloaded books, Kindle, and they're haven't been edited. They're poorly done, and it's like, oh, this person has a message to get out there, but because we're stumbling over how they've written it, we're not going to hear their message. And again, that means they haven't found their voice. So they have the story, but they have to find someone to help them craft and get it into their voice. So yeah, it can definitely, you can leverage that book, but it depends what's between those covers.
Yeah, I went to an event one time I was speaking at, and somebody else was speaking there too. And there was like 700 people there or whatever. And he literally, as a gift, gave his book out to all 700. It wasn't a big book. I mean, it was, a little like, almost like an ebook, but, probably like 30, 40 pages, like this little paperback thing. But he gave it to every single person.
Absolutely.
And I was sitting there going, that's better than a business card. You're giving them a book to take home. They see your name as author. And I'm sitting there going, what a wild marketing idea.
Absolutely. So here's a couple of things. So if you're a financial wizard or a realtor, you can have your book crafting your stories. So it's all of your chapters, but in there you have other links to other things, to your website and to your philosophy of how you list a house or sell a house, with all these tips. Now, again, this is showcasing you as a realtor and what you do, the knowledge that you have. It's in the book, and your end product isn't to make money from that book. It's to get clients that are going to list their house with you or come buy their house from you.
Correct.
And so it becomes the perfect vehicle to, again, get that audience, to get that client, that visibility. And if you're sharing your tips on how to stage your house so that when the client walks in, they want to not see it as a house, but a home that they can live in, and they start placing their furniture, you have them sold. And so your book can help you close that sale. It can help overcome any objections that people may have because you may have written about it in one of these chapters.
Sure.
So definitely leverage.
So what do you find? I mean, I know mine. But what do you find the number one thing people say? Oh, I want to write a book, but
I don't have time. I don't know how. And where do I start? And so that's why, as a book coach, I can take all of that overwhelm or that imposter syndrome. I can't do it. Again, I bring out this pencil and I take away that apostrophe T. You're telling me you don't have time, Robert, and I tell you, that's just what you're thinking right now. I can reframe your thoughts so that we can use this eraser to get rid of that apostrophe T, and you absolutely can find time. You absolutely can write that book. And I can help you with that. I can give you a blueprint and give you those actionable steps that will get those words, your message, down on paper.
And that's where it starts.
And that's where it starts. It's what your mindset is. And you're definitely, you have that intellectual property and you have that ability to get that down and share your message. And that's what it's about. Someone out there needs to hear your story. Someone out there needs to hear your message to know that if you can do it, if I can do it, then anyone can do it.
Yeah. It's true. Well, if anybody is looking to write a book, think about writing a book, thinking about writing a book, you need to go check out Lisa at www.pageswithpurpose.org. And you got something coming up, if I'm not mistaken. I saw on the page, we got like a minute or two left. Something on June 7th. You have a...
Yes, thank you. It's the writing, publishing, and marketing course. So that's what I was talking about. The participants in my course, they learn how to capture and write their chapter. And I use that to teach them how to use it with social media, how to use it for other professional purposes. I teach them about publishing and marketing. So networking and promoting that book. And they get featured in Pages with Purpose. And that allows them to get, if they don't want to write a whole book or they want to just see, gives them a chance to work with me, gives them a chance to get into that book and get their message out. So if you're a realtor or a financial wizard, you could do one chapter, see what it's like, and then you could use that to leverage your business, your credibility, because now your audience is going to know that you were published in Pages with Purpose.
There we go. So everybody go down, check down Pages with Purpose. If you're thinking about it, check out that coaching program. I know it's a little banner right on the top. I saw something about it.
It's all over the place on that page. There's so much going on. If you want to achieve, you got to take the step. And it's just that first step to implement. And then you have me as your accountability partner. I'm going to ask you, what have you done? Here's your deadline. Let's see it. And that's how you succeed. One step at a time.
That's it. Lisa, thank you so much. I can't believe 20 minutes is over already.
No,
it always goes so fast.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, when you're having fun.
Exactly. But thank you for joining me. And for everybody else, we will have another Spotlight real soon. And stay tuned for our next Spotlight 20. Take care, everybody. Bye.